There is a scene in the series Lovecraft Country that has lived rent-free in my head since the moment I saw it. It's a moment that strips away every romantic notion we have about the Black hero in an American uniform. In the scene, Black soldiers, men who have worked their way into the United States military during segregation, are ordered to line up a group of Korean nurses while in South Korea. The women are accused of being communist informants. There's no trial, no vetting, just the cold, clinical machinery of war. One nurse, Gia, witnesses her best friend on her knees, begging, crying, screaming that she isn't a snitch. But she is roughhoused and shot like a mad dog on the street right next to her. The survivor realizes a terrifying truth. Despite the color of their skin, those Black soldiers were the functioning arm of American imperialism. Their morality was indistinguishable from the system they served. I stop there because it forces us to ask, at what point does our attempt to belong in the United States require us to betray ourselves? Today, I want to talk about assimilation, capitalism, and the resurgence of respectability politics, specifically through the lens of the quarter zip trend. If you've been on social media lately, you've seen this corporate casual aesthetic or semi-business professional wear that the young guys are doing. And often a lot of them are Gen Zs or sometimes millennials trading in streetwear for this like old money look. They're basically quarter zip sweaters that have existed for a long time, and they're paired with tailored dress pants and loafers.
I mean, you launched this movement because you were in a transition yourself. Why quarter zips?
Quarter zips,
What do they represent?
I'm gonna talk to you. It's a lifestyle.
You have so much swagger, it's kind of crazy.
Thank you. It's a lifestyle. So personally, when I was interviewing, because the first time I wore it was for an interview, I didn't want to overdress for the occasion, but at the same time, I still wanted to look like, hey, like, you could take me somewhere.
Yeah.
That being said, I felt like going to an interview in a suit, that's a little too much. But at the same time, we're not going to interviews in sweatsuits.
Right.
Exactly,
They're
breathable.
Right.
So I was like, you know what, let me just put on the quarter zip.
Quarter zip. Okay,
It's
so
simple.
this creates a movement around the world, as I said.
did.
People around the world, different cultures, different races. But it's always the key because you have people who go viral, right?
Yeah.
And then you never hear from them again.
Nope.
But you were very intentional. You're like, I got your attention. Now I'm going to take this to the next level,
It's time to shine.
which is where the faith, the fitness, and all of these things come into play.
For a fact.
What do you see next for yourself?
What do I see next for myself? Everything.
Everything.
Truth be told, yeah. Everything.
Now look, I love a well-grown man. I'm from a generation that still believes in starch and in iron. There is beauty in self-expression, but it's not the dress that concerns me, it's the connotation. There is an underlying tone in these videos that wearing this uniform makes one better or more evolved than the average Black man. It's given Black bourgeoisie. It's the idea that if I look like I belong in the boardroom or yacht, I am immune to the struggles of what's going on in the hood. But history is a loud teacher, and I feel like a lot of times we are paying attention to the patterns. The truth is, a tie has never been a bulletproof vest. And I want to talk about the history that a lot of people often overlook, but it's to tie into a bigger point. We had to stop pretending that looking professional is a shield against white supremacy. The uniform did not save veteran George W. Dorsey in 1946, but he returned to Georgia after serving in World War II. He had the ultimate respectability, a military uniform, yet he was dragged to Morris Ford Bridge at Lynch while his service was still fresh. In 1968, Memphis sanitation strike. Men marched in full suits and ties while carrying "I am a man" signs. They were as respectable as you can get, and they were still met with state-sanctioned violence. If we think that a quarter zip sweater is going to protect us today, we are ignoring the fact that Black men have been lynched in their Sunday best for over a century. We often argue that joining the military or adopting the corporate look is just for the bag. But if it's strictly for profit, why the heartbreak? Many Black veterans felt a deep sense of betrayal when they returned from war to the Jim Crow South. They weren't just mad about the lack of money. They were devastated that they weren't perceived as true Americans after giving their blood and oftentimes seeing casualties of war, whether it's making other oppressed groups casualties of war or just seeing their friends as victims, or even themselves. And it seems the highest form of becoming America in this country isn't through dress, it's through the participation in imperialism. Are we dressing for ourselves, or are we just trying to be the good pawns in a system built on classism? We have to look at the numbers. The wealth gap, according to the Federal Reserve Survey of Consumer Finances, a Black head of household with a college degree typically has less wealth than a white high school dropout. Dressing for the job doesn't fix a systematic gap. Black Americans make up 14% of the population, but 19% of active duty enlisted personnel. This economic conscription often forces us into roles that support the very structures we often critique. The idea is that education and hard work will save you. And while education is a foundational value, no matter what ethnic group you are, it doesn't make you white. The danger is when we prefer white spaces and live off the reputation that we made it out of the ghetto, then look back and tell our community that if they simply work harder, they'd be where we are, and that is questionable.
Jason and I decided we wanted everything to be simple, elegant, modern.
Would a Jewish couple get married without breaking the glass?
We're not Jewish.
I didn't say you were Jewish. The slaves were not allowed to marry. Jumping the broom was the only way that they could show their union. Now, we have done that in this family for years. It is a tradition. It's gone on for generations. And as you say, it is a cultural necessity.
Look here, Tubman, Kunta sitting at the table, and, this ain't a Black History moment, Pam.
But why should they have to jump over a broom? My family weren't slaves.
Are you so sure of that?
Yes, as a matter of fact, they owned slaves.
Capitalism, by definition, works off an exploited class of people. It is mathematically impossible for everyone to bootstrap their way to the top. By wearing this corporate casual or quarter zip sweater or uniform and preaching this gospel of hard work, you risk becoming the exceptional Negro that the system points to so they can deny that systematic racism exists. Now I'm going to play some public opinion, and then I'm going to conclude.
I just want to get on here real quick and let y'all know why that quarter zip shit is reeking of respectability politics and anti-blackness. There's no problem with young Black brothers wanting to elevate themselves, transition, all that stuff. I actually applaud that. But with anything else, it's all about context. If they were to say, yeah, we on a new wave, we on our grown man, that's no problem. But to be we're better than those ghetto ones, it's given very much pick me. It's given very much, I'm not like those other ones, Mr. White Man, pick me, pick me. Because if it was all about not looking like a criminal, you wouldn't even have a suit on either, because Al Capone wore suits. The people on Wall Street right now that's killing people out of their money wear suits. Your president of the United States wears a suit every day, and he's a freaking convict. It's not adding up. It's given more so that you want white proximity, and you want to be adjacent to whiteness, and you view white criminality, not even white criminality, but anything that reflects something that will get you accepted in white America, that's more what you're gravitating towards. Because Black people are no stranger. We've been fly. We've been wearing suits since the Stone Age. We always been fly, so that's never been an issue. And I hate to break it to you, the police will still shoot your Black ass if you got on a quarter zip, a 3-piece suit, whatever. So miss me with all that. Business casual clothing does not somehow absolve you of being viewed as ghetto or less than. I don't know where you bought into that myth. And then it's not even just the trend, it's the verbiage behind these TikToks. Not once did y'all say, oh, we're gentlemen now. We uplift the Black community. We respect our Black queens. You got to read deeper into what they were saying. They were emulating those white trust fund bros, the sorority guys fraternity guys who went to college with, those kind of guys. People don't act crazy. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And then it just became very performative. Oh, we invest in stocks now. I bet none of y'all could even define what the hell NASDAQ or Dow Jones is. So save it. Please save it. And just like with anything else, it's not on you. It's in you. Real confidence, real class, real bouginess, intelligence, whatever you want to call it. It's in you. You don't have to speak on it. It's just, it radiates off of you. You can have on a t-shirt and sweatpants. If you're an intellectual, people are going to feel you. And FYI, I went to Catholic school, prep school, whatever you want to call it, my entire life. We were forced to dress like that from kindergarten to 12th grade. Trust me, it's not that deep. Like, no one's looking at you like, oh my God, he must be a scholar because you have on a fucking J. Crew zipper up sweater. Like, save it. Like, calm down, for real, for real. Because the guys who, like, are real academics and, like, real intellectuals, we could care less. And we're honestly laughing at you.
The quarter zip movement is not saving black men from racism because respectability politics ain't working. Black men were wearing suits and collared shirts in the 1950s, and we're still drinking from fountains labeled colored only. My brother MLK was assassinated in a suit. So for black and white people to get on the internet and act like a Patagonia vest is the best thing that happened to YN is just flat out ignorant of the history. And as a black man at an Ivy League, I still wear my do-rag to class every day. Because I'm smart enough to realize that my comfortability is more important than someone else's performative approval. If you think black people are dumb or ghetto, my outfit isn't changing it. I challenge you to actually zoom out and think for a second that belief comes from centuries of conditioning, not a Nike Tech or a quarter zip. So yes, I'm going to class with the do-rag and the tats, because none of that changes my mind, my resume, or my ability to perform in these elite spaces. Education is the one thing nobody can take from a black man. And as soon as you hear me speak, I check every stereotype that you walked in with. So now I gotta ask, the moment that I put this ski mask on, am I a YN or am I an Ivy League educated black man? Am I the stereotype or am I the student?
Are looking for professional men, so now these niggas are walking around in quarter zips, jobless still. And men are just so performative, but ultimately this whole situation, like, y'all don't understand how y'all are demonizing black men so much more. Like, when they start shooting black men in the streets and when they start killing niggas, y'all gonna be...
I'm sorry, but I think this is a bad take. Like, I get what the creator's trying to say about respectability politics, but it's missing so much nuance. What black men wear has always been demonized, whether it's hoodies, Nike Techs, or any type of streetwear. Like, that stereotype existed long before this trend and is going to exist long after. And I felt like the original quarter zip dude, when he said the whole, oh, Nike Techs is dangerous, and when they're saying that, I feel like that's just them mocking the stereotype. And even if he wasn't, we were literally on this app a few months ago debating why black men are not going to college and entering professional spaces at the same rates that black women are. And one thing that was not present in this conversation is the fact that black men lack mentorship and representation. Like, a lot of young black men only see themselves portrayed as athletes, rappers, entertainers, and now streamers. They don't get to see themselves as doctors, attorneys, consultants, analysts. And I feel like this quarter zip trend is kind of introducing them to that. Since this trend started, I've seen so many black men in professional fields showing their work outfits, their routines, their lifestyle, and just so many other things I don't feel like young black boys get to see. And I've also seen a lot of young black boys in their quarter zips talking about LinkedIn and business proposals. And yes, a lot of it is jokes, but it's also just exposing them to a different version of what black manhood could look like. I just feel like anti-blackness exists in most spaces, and I do want to hold space for that, but I also want to recognize that, like, this trend is fairly positive and it's expanding representation.
I'm personally not surprised that the nigga who got online and said, we all have to wear quarter zips to young black men is getting New York Times interviews and ABC News interviews because, of course, the respectability politics were created by white people. So when they see you tap dancing the respectability politics around, they're going to put you on the podium because they know at the end of the day, you're going to be the one to speak to the masses and change the way they think and make them conform to our image of society and how we want black people to act. But let me remind you, young black men, old black men, black women, black children, you are black when you have on a suit. You are black when you have on a quarter zip. You are black when you have on a bonnet. You are black when they lynch you. You are black when they us. You are black when they kill us. You are black. You will forever be black in this racist country.
Someone asked me, was I team quarter zip or team Nike Tech? What you think? What you think? I don't give a fuck about no quarter zip. I don't give a fuck about no respectability politics. I don't give a fuck about being in proximity to whiteness, assimilating to whiteness, impressing white people, making sure they're comfortable when I walk into spaces. I'm team anti whatever the fuck that is. But you put on whatever you like. I think quarter zips look nice. I'm a fan of Nike Techs as well. But it's getting to a point. It's getting to a point and y'all are showing y'all true colors. Y'all doing a lot of tap dancing, a lot of shucking and jiving, a lot of, yes sir, massa, Yes, I'm.
I do genuinely feel bad for black people that think they're going to be saved by respectability politics. There are still young black people in this world that think that, oh, if I talk respectfully, or if I wear a quarter zip and stop wearing my Lululemon and switch to wearing blouses, I'm going to get so much respect in this world. You'll come to find out that that shit does not fucking matter. And I've been in these corporate boardrooms. I've been in these meetings. I've talked to, I got pictures with the mayor of San Francisco. You don't get no respect for wearing a polo or wearing some Nike sweatsuit. The only time people give you respect is if you have the economic power to change whatever the fuck they got going on. If you have a voice and economic power, yeah, that matters. Nothing else that you think matters.
Dressing well is fine. Gaining an education is vital. But we have to decide, are we doing these things to build our communities, or are we doing them to escape them? In Lovecraft Country, the soldiers thought their uniforms made them true Americans. They realized too late that their success was being used to facilitate a violence that would never truly benefit them or Black people in general. But I want to hear your thoughts. Does dressing up actually change how you're perceived, or is it just something you like to do? Is it possible not to adopt classist views while getting into the bag? What are your thoughts? Let me know down below. And thank you so much for listening to Books and Looks TV. I'll see y'all next time.